Hello everyone, welcome to the Valley News Now desk. Duke Schindler joining you here as we got a special guest, or should I say guests here. It was a great state tournament. We were just finishing up the winter tournament season here, but we also want to welcome in our champs from girls state hockey. That's going to be West Fargo United. We're joined by Kennedy Blair, forward Emma Hassler, and goalie Reagan Wilson. Ladies, does it still feel real to be called champs at this time?
I still can't believe it. Like, I'm still on the high note of the weekend and how well we played. I'm just really excited that we won. I just don't think it's hit me yet. What?
Definitely. And that's, I'm sure, what you're going to be feeling here as we just move on. It'll settle in eventually, ladies. Don't get too ahead of it. But we'll dive into this and, what really got you guys here, because just looking at the past here and looking through these past tournaments that you guys have been through, you two of you are sophomores here, but #1 seed in 2024, bounced in the first round that year. Then the script flips a little bit here in last year in 2025, I should say. You make it to the finals as a 7 seed, heartbreaker in the final, obviously, but then here in 2026, getting the job done here at the highest level. So just heading into this, does this championship make it kind of that much sweeter that you went through your trials and tribulations before getting the hardware?
Yeah, I think it really motivated us, and like all of us wanted it more, and all the new girls knew that we wanted it, and they chipped in just as much as everyone else did. Yeah, this year I wasn't here last year, but I watched the state tournament, and it was insane to see the progress from last year to this year.
And then just going into it, not only that, but winning on this kind of highest level, taking down the #4, the #1 and 2 seed en route to the finals in the state championship. What had you guys riding so high into this tournament with the confidence really to make it all the way to the finish line despite being a 5 seed?
I think we all wanted it for each other, and like we wanted to play for each other because we're such a tight knit group, and I think that like showed on the ice. I think just knowing how close we were with the other teams throughout the season, and knowing that the top 5 seeds were really close in playing, especially against North.
Definitely. And Coach, this was your first year taking over the program, I believe. What was it like for you to just take over a team that's kind of been in the mix for a couple years? How did you gain the trust of this team?
Yeah, I think my #1 goal just was a new culture, new expectations, new standards, and that can be really hard for the girls to find that right away. But I think they took time and trusted me, and yeah, they bought into all those new pieces. It didn't happen in week 1, week 2. I would say it probably happened later on in the season, and the girls might agree with that. But yeah, my #1 goal for the season wasn't just to win a state championship, but just build a program to a standard that I expected to be at.
And on top of that, too, finally that the season's wrapped up, would you have believed this was the outcome after your first year?
No, but I definitely knew that these girls were capable of doing that. I was able to kind of step in and help out for the last 3 weeks of the season last year and kind of meet some of the girls and um, go on that run last year with them. But I just knew that we had a lot of returning players and key players that were coming back. And I just knew with that potential and pushing them every day in practice, they could reach that but at the state tournament.
For sure. And then just getting into the tournament itself, kind of starting with the semifinals as well. Fargo North-South, they only had a handful of losses on the year coming in as this #1 seed. But that did not phase your team, seemingly a wild second period turning into a scoreless third, a scoreless overtime, and then heading into that second overtime, Coach, what was the message heading into that? It's got to be emotions all over the place. How'd you rein in everyone?
I just felt like we were conditioned enough to be able to play those extra 2 periods. And the girls, you guys can kind of say something to this too, but my #1 thing from one for the season was we were going to be the most conditioned team when we got to the state tournament. That kind of showed whether the semifinal, quarterfinal, and the championship game as well. But I just told them, I continued telling them that we have confidence in them, that we support you, and that we believe that you guys can end this game in overtime.
And Emma, being one of the leaders on this team as well, what were your thoughts going into this semifinal game, the second overtime? I'm sure the emotions had to have been high for all the players in the locker room, but for the players, how did you guys get yourselves to calm down? How did you get yourselves to finish the job?
I think after a while the nerves started to shake off and we started to really work together, and it came together, and we kind of owed it to Reagan because she was standing on her head in that tournament in that game specifically. So I think we owed it to her to create some offense.
For sure, and that's playing off my next question here for Reagan. It sort of really left your body as the game went into that overtime, but as the goalie between the two pipes and deciding really the game in that situation, what's going through your head being you just joined this team?
Honestly, it's just that my teammates are gonna have my back, and no matter what happened in the game or second overtime, my team would still be there for me, and they would still support me no matter what.
And then once you finally saw that goal go into second overtime and heading to the state final, for the players, what was the emotion like? Was it euphoria, or was it like, oh my gosh, thank goodness this game's over?
I think we were all really excited. We were definitely excited it was over because it got to be a long game. But we're just glad we finished strong or on top.
And on top of that, too, moving on to kind of the state final here, you've been in this position before as quote unquote, I guess, the underdog, but that Red River Central team is one you beat last year in the tournament and then in the regular season finale this year. So some of these teams can really take their foot off the pedal after a big win against a #1 seed like Fargo North South. But what were your feelings like heading into that state final against a team you've seen before?
We definitely knew they wanted redemption, but we also wanted redemption. So I think it came down to who worked the hardest and who wanted it the most.
And then in that game, too, another nail biter. I'm sure the emotions were just a lot at the time, but Peyton and Rachel coming up huge, giving you guys that 2-goal cushion heading into the third. But like I mentioned, these emotions can get high. Anything happens during tournament time. So, Coach, what was your message to the players and the finals as the final minutes of the season were kind of ticking down?
Yeah, I think we were going in the second period with a 2-0 lead, and I said you can't, you have to keep going on the gas pedal, right? You can't just be calm and think that the game's over. But I think the full 51 minutes in that championship game, and we came out super hot to start. Our force kind of settled in there for a little bit, but I felt we owned the game the whole 51 minutes.
And also, one of the hardest position in team sports, in my eyes, is a hockey goalie. And you were putting on an absolute clinic through the entire tournament, Reagan. That got you on the all-tournament team as well. But there was one that went into the net halfway through the third. Once you're in that situation, that goal or that lead gets cut in half, what goes through your head? Because I know if I was between the pipes, I would have completely fallen apart on spot.
What went through my head was just coming back from it, because I gotta think about the thing that I can't go backwards and fix that goal. I have to just go forward and proceed to stop the rest of the puck. Hopefully it won't go net.
Then yeah, whatever happens, happens. In the end, you got the hardware when it's all said and done. The biggest, hardest job was done. But Emma, a question for you. What a season, what a tournament. All state, all tournament, and state champion as a sophomore. You still got 2 years left, as well as Reagan here, so most hope for just one state championship as a senior, but you have the opportunity, and you too have the opportunity for more. What would Emma from 5 years ago say about where Emma is right now?
I probably wouldn't believe it.
What would she say 5 years ago to you right now, if you could picture it?
Probably that she's proud that I've grown so much as a player and a teammate.
Definitely. And then for you, Reagan, in your first full year of high school hockey and first year on this team, pitching the second most shutouts in the state, and out of the goalies who saw more than 900 minutes of ice time, you ranked 6th in save percentage. What had you possessed between the pipes all season and doing it time and time again for your squad?
I don't know. The team really helped me out, and just having the support from everyone, especially Kennedy, like having everyone helping me out, and especially having them like work me after practice on things I know on like tricky spots that people can shoot on me. Really nice.
And then for both of you ladies here, what are you feeling right now? I know we kind of asked it at the top of the show here, but just when you go to school every day, do you ever think about like, wow, stop and think like, wow, we are state champions and I can't believe we did this?
I feel like I get reminded of today by people like my classes still, and our school put up a giant wall saying "Congrats, West Fargo United," right in front of our office, so it's kind of hard to miss walking in the school.
Definitely. And then for you, Coach, you were a goalie at Wisconsin during your playing career and national champion on top of that. So what can you say about Reagan's season and performances these playoffs, as well as her just general development throughout this season for you guys?
Yeah, I'm super proud of Reagan. I think she was one of our most improved players over this year. She kind of got her feet wet at the beginning of the year, and I trusted her going into that first game season against South. I just felt she was going to be the backbone of our team all year. And her development throughout the course of each game, each practice, she got better. And I think the best part about Reagan is her leadership. I mean, there's some times where I'm like, Reagan, you don't have to be a leader, you're also a goalie, right? But that's the number one key piece about her. She's the backbone of our team, but she's also one of our leaders that is always speaking up when in times of need. She cares about every single person on the team. And I absolutely love that about her. But yeah, it was just awesome to see her grow throughout this season. As the season went on, it seemed like she got more comfortable. Um, and just yeah, again, with the backbone of her team, I trusted her that we could put her in those big moments. And that's hard as a sophomore coming in, but she did a job that needed to be done. So.
And then when it's all said and done, the season has wrapped up here. What does this team mean to you, whether it be Reagan, Emma, Peyton, Rachel, anyone on the team? How would you define them as a team this season?
Yeah, I'm just super, super proud of them, especially Reagan and Emma just being sophomores and stepping up in big moments, right? They're young. We still have them for 2 more years, and next year we're going to rely on them even more. And then, senior year as well. But I'm just proud of them. Like they allowed me to come in and they trusted me and they bought into new systems and new culture and all that. And that's really, really hard. You know, as a new coach, you're trying to change so much at once. And I had to take a step back and just realize like, hey, I can't do everything at once, right? But yeah, they bought into the style of play and systems and all those pieces, and I can't be more proud of them. Because again, that is really hard for 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls to do that.
And just a general question that I'm certainly curious about. Like I mentioned, you were a national champion at Wisconsin as a goalie. But what's the difference between winning a title as a player rather than a coach? And what are the feelings like? Is it any different? Do you still feel that same joy? Is it a little different kind of joy?
I would feel it's a little different kind of joy. As a player, you're part of it in a different scenario, right? And then as a coach, um, as well. But I would say I have more pride and joy of just being able to coach these girls all season and then seeing them reach their goals and potential. We're at the rink every day for almost 2 hours, and there's days where maybe some girls are crying or having a hard day or just aren't all there, and we're having those tough conversations with them. So I think seeing some of them succeed at this high level and winning the championship is just I'm just so proud of them. And coming yeah, being a player and winning it is totally different. You're in that moment. You're one of the players. Yeah, I would say both are different.
Making history as well, being the first state champion for the West Fargo Co-op here. And it's really hard to do as a 5 seed, especially in high school sports. Sometimes there's just such a talent gap at the top. But you guys got the job done. You were always right there with the best of them this entire season. Now, ladies, do you want to get back on the ice and start playing games again, or is this going to be a well-needed break for you?
I like right when the season ended, I kind of wanted to go back and just play the whole game again. Um, I already miss it, but I definitely need the break for my body to get a rest. Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
That's a true champion mindset. Well, thank you, ladies, very much for joining me here on Valley News Now. Thank you very much. It's been nothing but a pleasure, and congrats on making history and making this entire area proud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us and just acknowledging girls hockey, especially these girls. They deserve it.